Hello and welcome to Next Level Leadership. It's really great to have you here with us today. And I'm excited to be able to share some things with you about how to develop your team. And so we're going to have a great time in our study today. We're going to spend about the next 10 to 15 minutes just digging in on how that we can become the best leader that we can be. Next Level Leadership was established many years ago for the purpose of developing leaders to help people reach their goals. Our goal is to help you reach your goals. And so we do that by helping provide perspective, training, teaching. We do life coaching. My wife is a certified DISC trainer. Together, we have worked with Next Level Leadership going on almost 8 years now. And so we're pretty excited for this opportunity to be able to be with you. I'm a certified John Maxwell trainer. And we want to utilize all that information to share with you so that you can be the absolute best leader that you can be. And one of the ways that you can encourage us, and here's the commercial now, is that you can subscribe to this channel. That would help us out a lot because that moves us up in the algorithm. Also, you can like it. That helps as well. And if you want to leave a comment, we do open that up so that you can leave comments if there's something maybe you'd like to share from your leadership experience that has helped you really definitively move forward. And we really want to be an encouragement to people. That's really what we're all about. So we post this to Facebook. Also, we'll be on our YouTube channel. And it's just an opportunity for you to maybe gain some insight that might be outside of your sphere of influence to just help you see maybe a better way that we can lead. So we've been talking about how to develop your team. What's the best way that we can develop our teams that are around us? And, you know, the couple of things that we talked about before was provide vision. That was very, very important. There's a biblical verse that says that without vision, people perish. One translation of that verse says, without vision, people cast off restraint. It means everybody's going to go their own direction. We see that in one place in the Old Testament where it talks about how that everybody did what was right in their own sight. As the leader, we carry a responsibility to broadcast vision, to kind of clarify why it is that we're doing. We have to put the purpose into what's happening, to share that purpose. We can't just let that go and let others be able to create their own purpose. That creates chaos, whether that's in business or that's in ministry. That is very problematic. And so what we want to do is we want to develop that vision so that people know what it is that we're trying to actually to accomplish. If we don't, as leaders, establish that vision, then everybody decides what they think the vision is. And you do not want that because that's going to create a problem. You're the one that establishes, as the leader, you establish expectation. You establish expectation. So that's one aspect of how that you and I can lead people. The other is that leading our team is that we provide a successful environment for them to work in. And I like what Ross Perot said about this. He said, one absolute thing I know is that people don't know why they come to work until they don't have to come to work anymore. That is a really powerful statement. And what we're doing through helping people have a successful environment to work in is we're helping them know why they come to work. That's part of establishing that vision. This is what we're here to do. One of my favorite stories about this is it happened during World War II when they were having to rely on people here in the U.S. to create parachutes for the paratroopers that were, jumping out of their airplanes over during the war, and the momentum was down. People weren't working real hard. It was a very frustrating time, and the managers were trying to figure out how can we motivate the people. And the way they did it was they put up a sign that said, the next parachute you make could save your son's life. Well, that affected people. See, that's how we provide a successful environment. We add the why to what we're doing. And, if we don't, then everybody gets confused or everyone tries to determine their own why things are happening. Another direction that we help in developing leaders around us is to be a role model. I always taught my kids that if you want to be successful, show up early, stay late, and don't hang out with those who complain. And because you got to be a role model, you have to set the example. Well, that's true for us as leaders as well. We need to show up early, stay late, and don't hang out with the whiners, the complainers. Encourage those who are following through on the direction that we are leading, whatever that is, a corporation, a business, sales department, ministry, whatever it is we're doing. We need to make sure that we are being that role model. If you don't want them to do it, don't you do it. And that just becomes extremely, extremely important. When I first started out doing leadership training, I showed up at a meeting one time right on time. The meeting was at 10 o'clock. I showed up at 10 o'clock, and the person I was meeting with said, I was always taught that you at least show up 5 minutes early, and you should show up 15 minutes early. He said if you're not there 15 minutes before the meeting, you're 15 minutes late, basically, is what he was trying to say. Well, I think there's a lot of truth to that. And you want to show up early, you want to be the role model, and you definitely want people to know that you're putting the time in that you're asking them to put in. So be a role model. The next aspect that we talked about with developing leaders is that we have to give good growth opportunities. That doesn't mean that we're spending tons of money to provide growth opportunities, though it may be a part of it, that we're encouraging people to go to conferences, that would be work particular, so that they're being able to grow in their area, become more efficient and effective in what they're doing. But where we need to be careful here is that there are so many opportunities that are available for folks to be able to grow. There are so many things that are available on YouTube. I think all of John Maxwell's materials are available in some form or fashion on YouTube. So really, we're without excuse that we're not looking for leadership information. If you're in ministry, Craig Groeschel's ministry has some great leadership, some of the best that I've heard. There are just so many. This is a great one right here that you can get information from that would be helpful to help you be able to lead the way that you need to be able to lead. There are audiobooks that are available for free, books online that are available for free. So it's not like you have to spend a gangload of money to be able to help those who are around you be more successful. Sometimes when I'm meeting with one of our team members and I'm listening to them talk about maybe some issues that they're dealing with, I may provide some insights to them about how to be more effective in what they're doing. But I'm also going to steer them towards information that I think is applicable, that they could continue their growth process. Because just me telling them, we don't want to create an environment where they're constantly having to rely on us to provide the information. We want to help them to become kind of self-starters. And so one of the ways that we do that is by helping them to find direction where there is information available. And there are some tremendous free resources that are available to people today. So if we're not growing as a leader, it's not anybody's fault but our own, because there's enough information available for all of us to be able to grow in our particular areas. Now, one of the things I think too that has to happen as we're giving those growth opportunities is that we are coming to that understanding of what each team member provides to the team. And this is where we utilize the 6 geniuses. We feel like those, Patrick Lencioni's book is very, very valuable with that. He has some great information online. And like I said, some of his teaching and training is available to people for free online in YouTube and some other areas. So I encourage you, they have a podcast that's available that talks about the 6 geniuses. And we utilize that with our team, because each team member is significant and different in what they bring to the team. My wife, in her DISC training, she does training with people in the DISC, DISC, the driver, I, the influencer, S, the stable, steady, and then C, the correct person. And if you don't know what your team is, then you help them find their best fulfillment in what they're doing. And so that's where it becomes important. If you're interested in having Sharon help you with your team for DISC training, just let me know. You can comment to us or send us an email, and we would be happy to get you connected with that. But the DISC training is extremely valuable in helping team members discover what they bring to the table. The 6 Geniuses, what it does is that it helps provide an environment for them to know how that they can help the team become better. And that becomes really, really important. There's different parts to that. I'm not going to go into all the details. Maybe next time we get together, we can talk about that. But it's very, very valuable. It's extremely helpful. We went through it with our team. I've done it with other teams, and some pretty big staffs that it really did help them understand their role and what they do and how that they help the team. And it helps us to know when we're facing certain situations, who do we go to that is really good at this? And I'm really, really good at some things, but I am not really good at some other things. For example, we talked about the DISC. I'm great at getting things done. I'm just not great at always making sure they're always correct. And so I have correct people that are around me. I'm great at getting things started, but I am not great at keeping them going. And that's where we need the stable steadies. The influencers help us dealing with people to encourage people to get involved. So these are some different things that we learn about DISC training. These are some things that we learn about not just the DISC training, but also with the Geniuses, how that we can provide opportunities for people to use their giftings together as a team. And believe me, everyone in your team, even if they're all volunteer, which is fine. If they're all volunteer or they're all paid or semi-paid, look, each of them brings something to the table that you don't. You're not everything. As the leader, you do not bring everything to the table. And so perspective from them becomes extremely, extremely important. And maybe I'll spend a little bit more time talking about that in our next time that we're together. But I really want to encourage you, take a look at some of Lencioni's material. He's done some great books. One of them is called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. Is really, really good and would be great benefit if you're having any issues within your team. And it's kind of sort of the precursor to the idea of the 6 Geniuses. So when we're dealing with our groups of people, we're dealing with our teammates, we want to know what we expect from each team member. We want to know who brings the best thing to the table, brings the best idea, is going to be the best one to make sure if we need someone that needs to be correct, we need to make sure that person, we got the right people at the table. So these are some really powerful things that we can do in developing our team. And I think that for us as the leader, one of the questions we have to ask ourselves is, can I specifically express the value of each team member? Can I can I say it right now? Can I say, okay, well, this is John. His value to the team is not just that he's a musician, maybe that just deals with talent. But what does he bring to the team? What does John bring to the team? What perspective does he bring? So Sue is a valuable asset to the team because she answers the phone well. Well, that's just talent. Let's talk about what it is that their DISC profile is. Let's talk about what their genius is. What are some ways that I understand that these people are valuable? And here's where this really kicks back. When I understand the value of each team member, I'm able to express back to them their value to the team. And that goes back to that whole idea about, look, when we express that to them, not only personally, privately, but publicly, that makes a great, great impact. Well, I'm glad to have had this time together with you. I hope that you'll take time to, to subscribe to this broadcast, to allow us to be a part of your life, to encourage you. We're just so grateful to be able to be on here, these resources that are available, that we can get this information over 44 years of doing this, basically, that we want to just be able to share that with you. The information we've learned from John Maxwell, the information we've learned from other leaders like Lencioni, other great ministry leaders like Craig Groeschel. This is our opportunity to be able to just bring that information to you. We don't want anything in return except to be an encouragement to help you move to the next level. Thank you for your time. If you would take just a moment and subscribe to this, that would be totally awesome. And if you would do that, and we would be so grateful, and to like it and just say, hey, we liked it. And if you have a comment, we'd love to hear from you. Until the next time we're together, may you be blessed in all that you do.